I'm really stupid. Can you educate me a little bit on Marxism? I don't know what it is for real. Marxism is just a theory on how commodity production works under a capitalist organization of the economy, how we have evolved under the Industrial Revolution and onwards to have our current capitalist production, commodity production, the relationship between those who produce the work, the workers, versus those who profit from the labor that you put in, the bourgeoisie, the capital owners. And the ultimate goal is to democratize the economy rather than just the way that we theorize how our current governance should operate in an ideal world. Like democracy should operate in a certain way, right? With means of accountability in the form of elections. Kind of like that, but for the workplace. There are multiple different ways of arriving at that end goal, but the ultimate goal is for workers to own the means of production. Communism never worked in real life. People who believe in it are delusional. Yeah. Well, capitalism isn't working in real life right now, so okay, fair. Sure, communism never worked in real life. Okay, how about that? Let's just say it didn't, okay? Those very same metrics of success are also literally not working in real life right now under a capitalist organization of the economy. So what do? Do we just keep crying about how communism didn't work, or do we try to fix the system that we're currently existing under? I say we fix the system that we're currently existing under through a series of reforms. Pretty sure this is capitalism working? Really? You think it's working? It's working for you, maybe, because you're on Twitch. You can watch me. You know, we're slowly destroying the fucking planet because we care more about the profit motive than the lives of the next generation that will come before us. I mean, that come after us. I mean, there's so much death and destruction all around the world. Yeah, it's far away, so we're not seeing it. But then we do kind of see it because we send those foot soldiers over there. We send those foot soldiers over there that do death, destruction, and destabilization. They come back in a state of disrepair. We don't even fucking offer them the social safety nets that we told them they would get only if they sold their body to the American imperialist war machine. Doesn't seem like it's working. I mean, it's working for some. It's working for me, motherfucker. I'm doing all right. Okay, I am working for, you know, the factory owner. It's working for those who are executives at massive corporations. It's working for the fucking finance bros. But it's not working for your dad. It's not working for you. It's certainly not working if you unfortunately had a shitty spawn point, you know, spawned in a developing nation that is going to be destroyed by America's long dick because they have natural resources that need to be extracted, or a labor force that needs to be exploited. They were agreeing with you, and that was their point. Oh, yeah, well, that is capitalism working as intended. Yes. We here in the United States of America live under the comfort of being a part of the labor aristocracy. So our relationship, no matter where we are as a worker, our relationship with the means of production might be similar, like a worker in a developing nation, okay? The reality is we recognize that you wouldn't be able to have those same material possessions and commodities for as cheap as you currently do if it wasn't for the other worker that's being super exploited overseas, like the Indonesian child laborer is working in a fucking sweatshop. So the entire system is run by exploiting the third world, the global south. And you kind of recognize that. So you're like, yeah, it's kind of working. I have McDonald's. Things are all right for me. I can fucking order a Big Mac and shit, you know, but it's not. You no longer leftist reform capitalism? What? When have I ever strayed away from social democracy in the short term, socialism in the long term? Like, it's literally always been what I've advocated for. The fuck do you mean? Like, literally since day one, I've been advocating for that. And a lot of people, like a lot of Marxist-Leninists, for example, fucking hate that approach, okay? Because I'm a fucking revisionist. I've been watching some YouTube videos of you and understand that you're against the concept of meritocracy, but I don't understand how people would be pushed to progress. Even myself, I wouldn't be pushed to do more if I wasn't rewarded. Dude, you wouldn't be pushed to do more in this current organization of the economy. The point is, I'll explain it to you easily, okay? When I worked for someone else, I was still doing something that I loved, okay? And I worked really fucking hard at it. But the fruits of my labor were never mine, okay? I had to do everything I can to make my own way within that corporate structure, even though it was a startup. So I had a lot more leeway, a lot more bandwidth to be able to experiment with certain things. And because of a lack of division of labor there, I was able to show that, like, this is literally what I'm doing. But they could very easily take away my IP, give it to other people, cut my fucking time, and tell me, you can't do that anymore. You have to do this instead. That is alienation from your labor, okay? This is a Marxist concept, easily defined by alienation from your labor. You have no control over what you do. You go into work and your fucking boss tells you, this is what you're going to do. Here are your key performance indicators that you have to hit. Here are your targets that you have to hit. And you're basically a cog in a machine where you fucking generate revenue for your bosses. Obviously, that's not desirable. Of course, you're not going to fucking work super hard. It's the most human thing to want to work for as little as you possibly can and get paid the most. That's what you want as a worker. And your boss wants to extract the maximum amount of surplus value from you. So they want you to work as hard as you possibly can for the least amount of money they can pay you and get away with. Basic principles of how capitalist organizations of the economy works. This is like normal human shit. The point is, if you had an ownership over the means of production, if you had more ownership over what you were doing, if you had more control over what your output was going to be, you would be excited to work. You would love what you're doing. Even if you're doing something that is backbreaking, menial, you would still recognize that this is necessary work that you must do because you're achieving something for yourself. And the example I will always use is, look, I fucking work for myself, dude. I do. That's why I don't mind streaming fucking 8 hours a day when I limit my hours. Like, that's why I didn't mind streaming 42% of the entire year last year, because I get to dictate the terms. Yeah, I have 30,000 micromanagers who tell me like, dude, what the fuck? I can't believe you're, changing your hair. Or I can't believe you're fucking, not covering this like weird thing that I want you to cover. It's fucking bullshit. But I can ban them. I have complete control. When you're in the service industry or when you're in a job, you don't have that control. You can't tell your manager to suck your cock, okay? You will get fired. And when you get fired, you will have to rely on social safety nets that are lackluster at best, okay? Ineffective. And also, you will lose your fucking health care, which is terrifying. I no longer have those fears. I have still some alienation from my labor, obviously. But having said that, because, Amazon still owns and operates these platforms, I still have certain regulations that I have to abide by. I have contracts that I have contractual obligations that I need to follow, all that good stuff. However, I have significantly less alienation from my work. So my goal, my hope is that people can all get to a point where even if they're fucking cleaning toilets, okay, even if they're in the service industry, they recognize that what they're doing is bettering their own lives. They are getting positive incentives rather than the negative incentives of lack of remuneration if you are fucking fired. Because everything that motivates us right now under our current design, under our current organization of the economy, is the fear that you will fucking die, the fear that you won't be able to put a roof over your head, the fear that you won't be able to put food on your table, clothes on your back. If you don't work, you're not going to get those things. I would rather switch that in its entirety and make you work for the true freedom, make you work because you want to. So that's why I always say, like, dude, you're not fucking lazy. You just hate your job. And it's understandable that you hate your job. How are you going to be proud of your work when it's just to clean toilets? Who's going to clean the toilets if you don't clean the toilets, dumbass? You want the toilets overflowing with shit? That's a profoundly important part of a fucking workplace. And no one wants to do it. Sure, but I would say using yourself as an example is kind of confusing because it's not the same as working 9 to 5 at fucking McDick's. How would Marxism make working at a fast food place more rewarding? What would ease the alienation? There was an incredible example from a pizza place that I will show you, okay? There was a pizza shop. There was a pizza shop in Ohio that decided to distribute a day's profit amongst his employees for one fucking day. Turns out, you know what happened? There were 220 orders. The shop shared that it received about $6,300 in sales and $1,200 in tips, which would be divided amongst his employees. It thanked all its customers. They got $78 an hour. That, when adjusted to their regular fucking payment, which is like around $12 an hour or whatever the fuck, if they're lucky, implies that whatever that difference is literally what is known as surplus labor value. What you are generating for the business that you are not getting back. Capitalists understand it as profit. It is the most normal thing in a capitalist organization of the economy. Now, this is one way that you can immediately remedy the situation. Wouldn't you have to subtract some of that to pay for ingredients and utilities and rent? Yes, of course. Of course. Now, in a democratic organization, what you do with the $75,000 or what you do with the additional money that you have generated in the form of profit would be democratically decided on. So in a democratic design in a workplace, like, this doesn't automatically mean like you fucking distribute all of the fucking dollars back to the workers themselves. Workers themselves could get together, if it's a small pizza shop, and decide, hey, you know what? We are going to take a pool of these funds that we're going to accumulate over the course of the fucking month, and we're going to spend it on marketing. This is going to be our marketing budget, marketing expenditure. They're going to say, hey, we're going to buy cleaning supplies, like extra cleaning supplies, because I'm the janitor and I'm saying like we need additional cleaning supplies that would make this way more efficient. That's how you would operate, rather than with a top-down approach where you're just like, yeah, fuck you. Here's what you get. Once again, that's revenue, you fool. Dude, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. Okay, limit that then. Like, lower it by $1,000. Who gives a fuck, idiot? Why is this so fucking hard for you to understand? We're talking about theory right now, okay? It doesn't matter if it's 78. Instead of 78, it's fucking $60 an hour, okay? That's still 3x what you would... More than 3x. That's fucking 6x of what you would average, what you would make average. And this doesn't mean that like all work is equally paid, okay? Who takes the risk from lawsuits and whatnot? A shared pool of funds, brother. Just like when you have a union, you literally fucking pay union dues so you can hire your own lawyers against the corporation that decides to hire anti-union lawyers, okay? That's how it works. It's literally how insurance works. Thank you for the Jeopardy contestant that said, what is insurance? We use it all the time in every other aspect of our lives. Collectivize the wins and collectivize the losses. So union is going to fight the case. What? Omega law? If everyone had a stake or a percentage ownership in the business, both in the means of production that they buy into with their labor over the course of an extended period of time, then yes, they would literally do it. It's like, if you're, think about it from the point of view of your fucking daddy's business that you probably have, right? Your daddy's gonna do everything he can to fucking defend his business, right? You would do everything you can to defend your daddy's business when you know that eventually it's going to get passed down to you, the shitter in my chat. That's how it would work for all of the workers. Now, the reason why I mentioned this is because, like, you know, this is just a fucking regular Ohio pizza shop, okay? Just a small business in the middle of Ohio. But this concept is one that has existed throughout history that Marx describes in, I guess, more complicated terms that I'm trying to make easier for you to understand. And I don't have all the answers in how co-ops would fucking operate. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sorry, my bad take. You really think the janitor is capable of making large scale allocation decisions like that? They can't even see the top of the hour ad break coming. So how the fuck do you expect them to be charged of their own allocations? I want to collectivize. I think that collective action is bad and wrong, okay? And immoral, and we should stop it. Especially when chat collectively fucking tries to debate me into running the fucking ad break, okay? I don't appreciate it. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't appreciate it. All efforts to unionize chat will be squashed. Yeah, it's top of the fucking hour, okay? It's time for a 60-second ad break. I'm going to run the ad now. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or you can do it for free. Twitch Prime is how you can do it for free. Bill Gates says it was a huge mistake to spend time with Epstein.